Greetings everyone and welcome back to City Skylines and of course to the city of Aavak. Now, before we get down to any of the expansions that I had in mind for this episode, we're going to address a couple of the problems that were pointed out in the comments. Now the first one, oh my lord, how did I miss it? Thank you so much to everyone who was desperately trying to stop me from being a derp. I appreciate the effort immensely. Right, let's turn this around, shall we? There we go. Our trucks can finally leave. That's why all the traffic was having to go out through this roundabout. They had to because there was no way to get on this road. All that effort I went to make this a little bit better, and I just messed it up. Never mind, fixed. Next. Under here, I missed a couple of things. Again, thank you so much to everyone for pointing this out for me. There we are. Though I imagine that wasn't actually causing any particular issue with the traffic. I'll be honest, I don't think that was actually causing any bother to the traffic at all. Right then, everything now seems to more or less be in the right place, and we'll see if this actually starts to improve the congestion around here. Hopefully it does. Next up, we have a couple of other options that I haven't looked at because they're all the way over here. We have, oh my lord, what's this? Solar updraft tower. The warmth generated by sunlight is what powers this power plant. The warm air goes up, turning the blades of fans that produce electricity. The large batteries within the building allow it to store electricity and not be affected by day and night. It produces 240 megawatts. Wow, it costs a lot to run though. My goodness, this one produces 120 megawatts. And actually this one's fairly cheap compared to it. Fairly cheap in terms of the upkeep. The geotherm. Now this one produces 80 megawatts. The geothermal power plant utilizes the warmth in Earth's core to provide electricity for the city. Geothermal energy does not pollute, and I can only imagine that this is true here as well. Okay, well, given that, I think we can do away with our already great polluting oil power plants. Let's go ahead and find a spot for these. Geothermal, where would I like you to be? I could have the geotherm down here, actually. There's a couple of options for us. Now, one of the options... Oh, we're a small city. We are now technically a city. How marvelous. But we don't really have a lot of time to have a look at this. But let's have a quick look through. Small business enthusiast, big business benefactor, industrial space planning, high-tech housing, nice, high-rise ban. It's got numerous different types of roads, or rather traffic connections, monorail tracks, cable cars. I'm actually kind of keen on that one. We've got cable car stops around here, cargo train terminal, train station, monorail bus hub, hydropower plant, and a yoga garden. A beautiful garden for practicing yoga or just coming for a walk. Gives a small health benefit to the area around the building. That's actually quite sweet. Okay, right. Well, what we want to do here is we need to move a couple of things. Actually, there's a few things we need to do. One of them is simply we want to move one of our garbage collection areas away from over here. I mean, they have got connection to the whole city, but realistically speaking, I would prefer it if they could get a little bit closer, perhaps. I'm thinking that might be worth doing. So, with that in mind, let's have a look around. Now, the nice thing about these particular buildings is, unlike the landfill, they don't fill up with anything. So, we can move it, more or less, wherever we would like to. And so, with that in mind, let's bring you all the way down here. And we'll just have this... just leave out in this direction a little ways. Something around... Actually, yeah, we'll go all the way. We'll go all the way out there. Now, that's going to take it a fair bit outside of the city here, so it shouldn't affect things, though I'm effectively going to be cutting off this area around it because of noise pollution. And there we go, and possibly also smoke and that sort of thing. Let's grab one of these. Let's grab you, and you're relocating. You're going to be all the way up here, and it's going to be marvelous. You can't quite fit outside, though, so that's fine. We'll pop you right about there, I think. And then we just need to run some electricity your way. So we'll pop that down there, and draw this across the street all the way to there. There we go. That should hook you all up. Unless that's just not quite close enough. Oh, damn and blast it. It isn't quite close enough. It's a little bit annoying when that happens. I would love it if there was a tiny bit of extra infrastructure around these poles so that they could connect things. But there we go. We've moved some of the waste processing over there. In fact, I'm thinking, sure, we can have 2 in this area, but 3 is strictly unnecessary. Instead, we're going to move one of them over here as well. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll have a road just coming down here and then a little bit of a turn, a little curve down to about there, and then we'll lengthen it out a bit. There we are. Perfect. That's all we need there. And with that, we'll move the second one as well. So let's grab you, move you over here. You can be right next to the power plant, so hopefully you're not actually going to need any additional power there, and it'll all be lovely. Right. Okay, so that's another thing that we've sorted out. But we're back to our need for power. Or specifically, our need to get rid of these horrid things and put something far more wonderful and green in its place. Now, it's an expensive thing to do, but I think it's worth it. We could have gone through the geotherm, but we're not going to worry about that one right now. Noise pollution is still fairly high on this structure, but we can just pop it over here, just by our little industrial area right here. There we go. Solar energy technology is an investment in the future. Solar updraft tower. Oh, I'm very pleased that you like it. Let's have a look at that thing. You know what? I've never actually heard of this technology before. Obviously, I've heard of geothermal plants, but I've never actually heard of a solar updraft tower. The idea of the way, the idea behind the way it works is actually pretty interesting. I like it a lot. Right, with that then, we can get rid of some of you. Goodbye. Yes, a lot of money just gone, just like that, but it's worth doing. Having a clean city with great outdoors opportunities is a privilege. Thank you. Oh, you're more than welcome. Find that citizen. I think they're overdue for a tax break. That is, by the way, the road to disaster. Don't reward people, even if you don't punish the ones that say mean things. Don't reward the ones that say good things, because that's effectively the same thing. Because you're withholding your rewards from the ones who say mean things. Don't be that kind of president, unless you really want to be. In which case, or mayor, or dictator for life, whatever. Just if you want to be, sure, but understand what you're doing. Is all I'm saying. Go in with eyes wide open. All right, how are all the trucks going? I'm really disliking the fact that they're parking here. Now, a lot of people have pointed out there's no point in having a 6-lane roundabout because the cars typically will only use the first 2 lanes. First 3, maybe. I mean, we have a lot of roundabouts in the UK, and you can often end up with, like, on the larger roundabouts, 3 or 4 lane roundabouts, and everyone will use the different lanes because each one makes a bit more sense to be in. And gradually, as you go around the roundabout, the inside lane will become the outside lane by the time that you get to the last turn off. It's an interesting system, but this is by far the more annoying thing about having this particular type of thing in here. In City Skylines, there are mods that you can use that will adjust which lanes traffic will use. But let's go ahead and actually update this. Now that we've got highways, one of the main reasons I like the 6-lane road is because it's got a higher speed limit, but we've got highways that will give me exactly that. So let's go with a 2-lane highway, and we'll actually put up some sound barriers as well. So let's go ahead and adjust these right around, and that should help out a bit. They should only be using 2 of the lanes, and also now they won't park on it, which is glorious. We'll do exactly the same up here as well. There we go. That should help me out a wee bit, and we'll see how that one goes now. There we are, looking good. They're in the right lanes, they're turning where they need to turn. There we are. Where are you going? You're turning off over here, I'm assuming? Yes, you are. Well done, you. Okay. Progress. And we'll do exactly the same down here. Well, actually, I'm not sure. Maybe we'd like a 3-lane. Yeah, we'll go with a 3-lane over here. And, sure, we'll upgrade these ones to 3-lane. And these ones to the regular 3-lane. But then these ones, since they're kind of crossing here, we'll actually put a barrier. There we go. There we are. Looks good, I think. I think that looks very, very nice. There's a massive back of the traffic here, though, which is a bit of a problem, honestly. Now, what I could do is make a bit of a way for the trucks here to just get across there. Like, if they're turning off here, we can just go straight around. Whereas if they're getting onto the roundabout in order to go that direction, it makes sense. But this backup is horrific. Absolutely horrific. Let's see what's going on here for a moment. Why is this so bad? Is everyone trying to turn off here? Because if so, we could do exactly the same thing. Just have a little bypass. So that the vehicles that have no intention of turning across that way can just go straight into the center here. It seems to be doing okay, but that traffic is just awful. It's frightening, in fact. Frightening. Okay, well, let's do that then, because we are seeing a decent bit of traffic taking this route over here. And for that, we'll actually use the on-off ramp, I think. Once we get to the one-way road, I want them to be slowing down anyway, so sure, we'll get this. Gonna be a little bit awkward. We could go for something like this. It's a little bit of an awkward angle, that one. How about we come out around here instead? There we go. And then try and get it to curve up here. Something like that, perhaps? That should make it a little bit easier. And this way, some of the traffic can just completely bypass the roundabout altogether. If their destination is the industrial zone, then they can just make the turn anyway. And that should help out a little bit. We won't see the effect of this for a while because we have to wait for the traffic coming in to decide to use this route. But there we go. Starting to see a little bit of motion now. Some vehicles are taking this route instead. We don't really need any kind of bypass on that side. Only need it over here. And this roundabout up here is fine. It's perfectly fine. There's more than enough going on there that we don't need to worry about it. Let's hope that our traffic can actually start making better use of that, though. This is particularly nasty. And I imagine almost all of these cars, yeah, they're all trying to get into that lane, which is... yeah, not so great. Not so great at all. I'm thinking, yeah, we are going to have another sort of bypass just going up and around. There's no point in clogging up this part of the roundabout if the people who are getting on here have no intention of using the whole thing. Might as well just go straight around. Now, how are we going to fit that in? I'm not entirely sure. Let me have a quick look, shall we? Could we continue to come out like this? No, space already occupied. Okay, well, we're going to actually pause the game here then, because I would like to do something a little specific. So, first and foremost, we'll just come out straight in this direction. I'd actually like this to be more or less straight anyway. 45, sure, go all the way up there. Or perhaps over here. Now, can I connect you in? Let's have a quick look. Can I get you to curve the way I want you to? No. I could just go for a straight line though, I suppose. More or less a straight line anyway. That'll do, actually. It doesn't look that bad. Though it's turning in the wrong direction. No, I need to turn the other way. Let me rotate that around. There we go. That looks a bit better now. Okay. And continuing on with this then, let's get a bit of a curve going. Something around there. Then a curve a little bit longer, I think, and then up. Something like that should do. There we are. We'll need to add a couple of extra details along here though. Otherwise it'll just look wrong. Let's pop in a nice big rock. Ooh, that's a little bit too big. How about something a little bit different? I really do like these rock assets though, I've got to be honest. These are really nice. They're gigantic though. That looks nice. Oh, my trees. I think it's less nice now. Stole my bloody trees. Do you have any idea how long it took me to find the right trees to go there? My goodness. There we are. Something like that. Maybe have a couple of extra trees down here too. There we go. That'll do. Looks reasonably nice, I think. Oh, actually, can I fit a tree just there? Yes, I can. Ah, glorious. The amount of time you could spend just looking for the perfect place to put a tree in this game. It's a game about making cities. And yet I spend more time placing trees than anything else. Though, that being said, it is the Green Cities DLC, so I feel that it's at least partially relevant to the game that I'm playing. Oh my lord. Right, I don't think that's too bad, that particular turn-off, because this is a dual lane here. So that seems reasonable. There we go. Though, honestly, why are you not crashing? Because that looks like you should be right there. Okay, things are moving along. That's not terrible, I suppose, though that little junction there is perhaps a little bit too close. Not entirely sold on that one. But overall, it looks like we've corrected some of the worst of the problem. We'll have to wait until the morning when there's more trucks coming in. And also the evening when there's lots of trucks trying to leave as well. Those would be the best times to check that sort of thing out. As for over here, I don't think this is necessarily needed to be as large a road as it is. So I'm actually going to downgrade that. But you know what? I'm going to downgrade it with... let's see... large avenue with grass. No, we'll just have a couple of trees. You know what? Yeah, let's do that. Let's make it a nice tree-lined avenue. There we go. That's lovely. It'll also help a little bit with pollution and noise pollution specifically. Alright, that's a little bit better now. I think I've addressed the majority of the things that people had mentioned in comments. My goodness, that is a very, very packed connection. Perhaps I should connect it directly over here instead. Just come straight up there. Instead of interfacing with all... Let me see if I can do that. There, that is a much nicer curve. Haha! I win! Stubbornness trumps all. Right, let me connect all of this up. And there we go. We're done. All of the faffing around to get that the right kind of angle is complete. And traffic is flowing nice and smoothly. Except over here where it's now a big problem. Well, drat. Drat Diamond Blast. Actually, it doesn't look too bad now, but that's going to be an issue, I'm afraid. So all of the traffic leaving the city is making a massive, massive clog there. We're going to have to try and deal with that. Now, one thing we could do is have an express route that doesn't make use of this junction at all. Like, if this traffic, all it wants to do is get up onto the highway, then why are we forcing it to interact with the roundabout? That's the issue there. Right now, all we're doing is slowing things down by going through the roundabout. There is a solution I can think of that will require a complete redesign. So, in the meanwhile, we're moving on. We're moving on over here, where I'm going to introduce... Well, see, the problem here is I would really like to introduce a fairly large, sweeping policy in this area. But I'm afraid of what it would do. So we're just going to upgrade Radiant Garden a little bit more. So let's draw you out. We're going to start moving into this area with the high density. And hopefully we're going to start seeing some wonderful changes taking place. There we are. Now these should start devolving and then being replaced by taller, eco-friendly buildings. I'll actually see how they turn out. This will be interesting because I have no idea what we're going to be seeing here once that actually really kicks in. Except we're doing fine for our weekly income, which is really quite nice. Very fine for the weekly income, in fact. Let's continue on expanding. There we go. And actually, we're going to go all the way across. We're going to grab you as well. There we are. I mean, we're playing a game called Green Cities. I may as well go to the effort of making most of my city green. We are going to be reserving this one. River Run, though. And over here, they're going to be low... They're going to be just regular districts. In fact, I'm actually going to paint this district because I would like to introduce a couple of policies, but I'm not going to be making the housing self-sufficient here. There we are. We've now got Fairview Heights. Okay, so Fairview Heights. Actually, out of curiosity, what do we have around here? No, everything's fairly normal. That's good. We've got IT cluster. We could go for an IT cluster in here, actually. Sure. Okay, I wouldn't mind some IT. Actually, no. Let's have these as normal offices because I would like this area to have the IT. Right. Anyway, moving that away. Fairview Heights. Let's have a look at your policy, shall we? I would like you to recycle, please. That's just something I want you to be doing. I would also like you to have... Let's see. Actually, there isn't too much going on in here, to be perfectly honest with you. I could increase a few things, but parks and recreation as well. You can enjoy that. Taxation. I'm going to leave that as is right now. Actually, there's no particular thing I want to do there. Let go of leisure. Ah, yes, leisure specialization won't have to pay any tax whatsoever. As for city planning, I'm going to encourage bicycling. Or biking, rather. So you go ahead, and I'm also, since we've actually started seeing buildings start to burn down due to lightning rods, I'm thinking that I would very much like lightning rods to start popping up. Cost 1.6 cents per building. Sure, let's get lightning rods throughout the city, especially over here, though, because this one has tall buildings. Honestly, it probably makes more sense over here. Let me actually have a look. Tallest buildings to install lightning rods. Yeah, let's get those going, shall we? And I'm going to encourage biking as well. So there we go. In here, wouldn't mind you having some parks and recreation as well. And I think that's going to be a lot for now. There we go. Now that will have changed a couple of things, but for now, things aren't going terribly badly. There we go. We've just got this little oasis of lower tier housing in there. I'm wondering how these are going to upgrade, though. How they're going to look when they start properly upgrading. Now, we've got a couple of new options. We've got a cable car available to us. I'm not particularly interested in that one just yet, though. But since Radiant Gardens expansion went so well just now, I'm encouraged to keep going. So let's continue to expand out Radiant Garden. All the way over here. Grab all of these shops on the way, and then connect them all up. We'll also grab the offices just down here as well. They can be a part of Radiant Garden too. There we are. I think that will actually make for some nice upgrades. Taxes going down, and actually also population because buildings are being rebuilt. But that should be okay in a little bit. Let's have a look at you. You're not doing too badly, the Victoria residents. Let's have a look. You're getting along. Educate more citizens to allow the building to be upgraded. Make sure your education facilities can handle all potential students. What about the others? Yeah, educate more citizens. Probably educate more citizens as well. We'll get there. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Let's have a look at the happiness overall in the city. Actually quite good, but what's wrong over here? What's wrong? Low density residential building. I can't quite tell why they're unhappy there, honestly. That doesn't make too much sense to me. Maybe it's only just upgraded, but no, we're seeing a couple of places around the city that aren't particularly happy with their lot, it seems. That makes me a little bit sad, I'll be honest with you. But so far, so good. We've corrected some problems, we've identified new ones, and that is the constant iterative cycle of playing this game. Crime rate is high. Oh, where's my police? Police are just over there. I'm not sure what else I can do. The crime rate is only 7%. I mean, I say only, but that isn't really a good thing to hear, I suppose. So you don't want to hear only when you're talking about crime. One thing we can do to resolve the traffic as well is to add in some public transport, but we're going to be doing that in a little bit. Now, in this episode, we're going to continue, or rather begin, the development of this area, I think. Yep, I know there's new buildings. Don't worry. I will check it out later. Right, let's bring this straight up, if you please, to about the same area over here. No, we can't actually draw that out. That's a bit of a shame. But that's fine. Let's get that down. We want a grassy road along there. Connect it up. Now this should be in line. Good, 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 good. Now, this area will probably be one of the more densely populated areas in terms of businesses and just the density of buildings. So we'll actually have quite a few blocks in here. I may make the blocks a little bit less, well, blocky, I suppose. We'll see. I wouldn't mind bringing this up and actually having possibly even some like plazas or little places in there that we can build. It'll be a nice bit of a nice experience in there. Let's give you a little bit of extra room so there's some room between the buildings here. Again, not a huge fan of having buildings surrounded on all sides by other buildings. Never have been, likely never will be. Let's continue on this trend. We'll just build it up a little bit further. There we go. Actually, did we go any further? Yeah, we did actually. I want to take that out a little bit more. Let's go ahead and build this out to about here. Won't necessarily connect it though. How far were you? 2 points. Oh, apparently, no. No, it is actually okay. I'm just not seeing it for some reason. Alright. Actually, I wouldn't mind upgrading a couple of the roads in here to be a little bit nicer. We could also make a one-way system if we particularly wanted to. If it were a loop, that would be perfectly fine. Because people could turn off at any point, but actually exiting the city would require them going all the way around, and it might also encourage using certain areas as bypasses, which I don't strictly want to do right now. Now, by having these types of roads, I'm expressly forbidding parking in here. That might be a bit of a mistake. We'll have to see in the future. But I think that's enough for now. Let's go ahead and start hooking this up. Now, this is by far the most uncreative area we've got in the city, and that does kind of pain me a little. So we may see changes popping up in this area. Possibly frequent changes, as I try to make the place a little bit more diverse, a little bit more unique in certain ways. Let's bring that all the way up there, and we'll run some water pipes across here. At least the waterways look diverse-ish, kind of. Right, there we are. Have we got electricity across here? We do not, so we are going to need it. Let's just run some cabling just across there, and that should be good. Alternatively, no, I think that's actually a wise move. Now, the main things we want, commercial and industrial. Now, we can do that in here as long as we use offices as our main. So let's go ahead, get the offices in here. There we are. And likewise, we will pop down some commercial on this side. We're just going to bucket fill this one. There we are. Let's get those in as well. There we go. I think this should be quite nice. Now, Lynch Hills, we're going for more leisure over here. And I'd actually like IT as well. So let's get the IT specialization in there. There we go. This should be a bit of an interesting one. Now, unfortunately, we do lack the highest education. Oh, my lord. That was pretty good. It's even got a helipad. That is super good. I massively approve of this. Well, what kind of place is this? Edison Motors. That is a very swanky... Is that like a HQ building? That's a very swanky place. I approve. Quite enormously, in fact. Let's continue going on. We'll just fill this area out as well. Okay, yes, I admit it. I caved. I just couldn't handle the uniformity. Not in a city. It is undeniably more useful though. It is much more efficient to do that. Wow. Okay, facility full. Let's slow down time. We need a new graveyard apparently. Now we've got a graveyard all the way over there. Let's actually have a look at death care. I mean, this place could start picking up the slack a bit, but at the same time, I feel that that the citizens around here deserve a graveyard a little bit closer. So that one being full is a bit of a pain. And we've got quite a few deaths going on as well, which is not great. Where could we fit an extra? I mean, we've expanded this area out, so we could actually build out in this direction. You know what? Let's have a wee graveyard just over here. There we go. People should enjoy the proximity of the death care there, knowing that you're going to be taken care of in the afterlife. We're also going to add a Japanese garden right next to this one, because everyone likes Japanese gardens. Right, how are we doing for healthcare though? Because I didn't notice too many places which took care of that. Yeah, they're all down here. That could be a problem, honestly. It may come and bite us, but for now, let's have a quick look. Operating normally, not enough educated workers. Yeah, I was worried about that. I was worried about that one. Not enough workers, full stop. Yeah, we probably need some universities. We might even be able to get away with a university in the middle here. Let's have a quick look at that. What kind of university have we got? A Modern Technology Institute. This school teaches teenagers in the ways of technology, an alternative to the university. It is gigantic, but we can probably make it happen. We can, in fact, make it happen. Sure. Let's go ahead and pop this. I'm going to give this quite a lot of room on either side. There we are. Pop that one down there. And that should help a lot, actually. Lots of people being made happy by this one. Look at that wave of happiness. I am glad. Very glad. Also, we need power. So, given that, let's continue to expand out our commercial. Have I been putting high density commercial? I actually haven't. Let me correct that. This needs to be high density. Those can be low density, because I like the idea of little corner shops being low density. Let's do that, there and there. And then we're actually going to pop down a little bit of low density right here and here, because I'm going to have little walkways going alongside the university. Actually, we'll move it across just a tad, because I also want a bike path. There we go. But then the rest of this should be high density. There and there. Okay. Right, let's go and get these paths in then. I'd like a walkway along there, followed immediately by a bike path as well. There we go. Down both sides. There we are. Don't actually need that for any particular reason. I just like having it there. Well, you know what? That seems a little bit surface of mind. Also, having the bike path on that side would mean I'd be able to have paths branching off. Yeah, I put them the wrong way around. Let me just correct that. There we are. Alternatively, what I could do is just have the bike path on that side and the regular path on there. Yeah, actually, I quite like that one. We'll have a little walkway in here. Just curve it off a little bit. Something like this. There we are. To around the back of that building. And over there as well. Lovely. Pop in some trees. Wrong place. I was in the right place before. There we go. Want to keep this place nice and nice. A nice garden. We don't want it just to be grass, but we do want some grassy areas so people can play a couple of sports just to chill out a little bit. Perhaps we'll just leave this one over here, and I'll just put one tree right there at the back of the building, and a couple of bushes around this side as well. There we go. But this can be where they go for sports, and they can just, like, you know, just chill out. Maybe a couple of park benches around there. We can't see them, but they're there, and they can just relax. Maybe catch up on their favorite Let's Plays on their laptop in between classes. Well done. Right, okay. With that done, yeah, these are just going to be abandoned straight away. That is terribly depressing, but it's going to be one of these things. Wow, there's a lot of deaths going on. Dead person is waiting for transport. Huh. Maybe we need... Oh, there's a graveyard right there. Honestly, that should be easily taken care of, frankly. I'm not going to worry about that one too much. However, we are starting to want to see more buildings cropping up around here. So, more housing, that is, which is always nice because that brings us more tax. So, let's start popping down a couple more roads, shall we? And we'll continue along out here. But at this point, I'm thinking, sure, branch in and then have some more terraces. I'm quite fond of those at the moment. Something like that will do. And if we draw this out, then we can have another 1 or 2 in there. Up there, we've got a gap of 2. Another gap of 2. Nope, nope. Line up. There we go. And a final gap as well. Actually, that one seems reasonable, I suppose, but let's just get rid of you for now. There we are. There we go. We can have various things around here. Actually, let me just double check. How wide is your effect there? It's actually not too bad. The tail end of this terrace is going to catch the worst of it, but that shouldn't be a huge issue, I don't think. Let's just have a couple of low terraces there. Just going through here. Just some low density, and then we'll continue with the high density on the other side. There we are. That should work quite well, I think. And we'll reserve these 2 spots for some low density shopping as well. And high density on this side as well, I think. There we are. We're going to need to pop down some water before they complain at me, ideally. Looks like we might make it. Aha! Got there before they complained. Oh, I'm getting better at this Maya stuff. Marvellous. Right, okay, we can speed things up a little bit and just see how things start to pan out. Let's actually have a look at what's needed. Elementary school, not great. We haven't got quite enough of those. High schools, likewise, not amazing. Still don't have quite enough of those. University, very few people have gone to university, but that's to be expected. We'll have a look at it. Rubbish processing, it's going alright. Electricity, starting to creep down there actually. Starting to creep down very slowly. How about water? Sewage treatments is still up there. And yes, I am absolutely aware that this is in fact a one of the more polluting sewage outlets. But that's why it's a test of courage. If they were all, green, well, I mean, they are probably green in a little bit, but just less green. However, no, it wouldn't be the same sort of thing. It needs a home too, Right. That seems okay otherwise. In terms of level, residential level isn't too bad. Over here we've got a couple of level 3s. We're even seeing a few of these starting to grow up. Let's actually take this off for a moment so we can actually see it properly. Oh, look at that. That's actually quite nice. The grass is starting to grow. I like it that it takes a little while for that grass to get in there. I think that's actually pretty cool. What about the offices around here? Just, regular sorts. Yeah, everything seems to be coming together. I quite like this area. Quite like it. Have you lost your wallet? I found a black leather wallet. Sent a PM to get it back. How lovely. Congratulations to us. Mayor just announced that our beautiful city won the Most Attractive City Award. Happy Mayor. Oh, that's fantastic. We've got the Most Attractive City. That's a flagrant lie. I probably bought someone off because I've seen much more attractive cities. I really have. Some people make amazing things, but this right here is really, really quite awkward. Let's not have that, shall we? Let's adjust those junctions. No. And no. Can have some traffic lights here and there, but we don't need them there. We'll just give priority to traffic coming out. And down here we want to give priority to traffic. Oh, actually, traffic priority needs to be leaving. So that's fine. There we go. That should be a little bit better, I think. We'll see. A lot of people need to get across here now to get to the shopping area. But Hopefully that's not going to cause too much trouble. Unfortunately, leaving the city here is going to result in people just clogging up the roundabout here, no matter what I do. Simply because it has to cut across the entering traffic on this side. Still, hopefully it'll be slightly improved. And again, trucks, massive backing up down there. That is definitely a problem that we can have a look at in the next episode, though, because I want to focus on this a little bit more before we get to that. Now, how are these buildings doing? Have they actually got enough workers? Yes, they are starting to have enough workers. One overworked worker. Oh, I'm sorry. We'll try and fix things. I'm not going to put down more of these buildings just yet, though. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pop down something to give you a bit of stress relief. Let's get you a basketball court if we can fit one in. Can we? Yes, we can. There you go. Chill out there, people. You know, just work off some of that stress. It is not healthy to bottle it up. Let's also have a look at the plazas. Can we have a nice little plaza in there as well? It would take out the other building, unfortunately. What about a smaller plaza? Sure. Okay, we'll get a little plaza down there too. There we go. Now that should help out a little bit. People should be made a little bit happier with that. Fishing Island, Tropical Garden. Not too into that one just yet. We've got some tourism and leisure. Is there anything really nice here? We've got riding stables, got skate park. We've got quite a couple of nice things in there actually. Could get a carousel, but I'm not feeling that one. Could have a botanic garden. I think that would actually be quite nice. Raise the surrounding land value. That can only be a good thing, considering. Shall we pop it in here so people have another reason to go into the main part of this area? I think we actually should. I think that would be quite nice. Let's pop this one down about there so people have more reason to head into the city there. That is nice. It's going to cost me a fair bit, but I think it's going to be worth it in the long run. Okay, around this we're going to have high density commercial at the back. Right by there. But then low density on either side, I think. There we go. That'll help out a little bit. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. That doesn't look healthy at all. We seem to have grown a little bit beyond our means. Drat. Well, what kind of options do we have for this now? We still aren't at the eco water treatment plant, unfortunately. We're getting there. Get another eco water outlet, but this place is actually starting to get really quite foul. And there's no amount of beautification that's going to make it stop being foul at this point. Pop that one down there. Hook it up with pipes. There we are. And then we're going to extend this road out just a little bit. And then I think we're probably going to be wrapping up this episode. Something along these lines. Just a little bit of curve down, and then we can start taking the curve up again. This one can just curve straight down there. There we go. And we'll get in some more low-density housing. There we are. Actually, I'm thinking, sure, get a couple at the back there. Don't need much. Another commercial here as well. Couple of shops here and there, hither and yon. And around this, once again, clicked on the wrong place. You'd think I'd eventually learn. You'd be wrong. So wrong. Right. Let's try and get this a little bit nice in there. Just come on. I saw you blink. There we go. That works. There we are. I'm actually quite liking the rock formations, as you probably noticed, in fact. Let's spin that one around. There we go. And another one just down by there. And then try and hide this. Once again, a couple of trees just dotted in around here and there, just to distract. It's fine. We're going to need another path, though. I feel that we haven't popped a path down in a while. So let's get ourselves a wee path, something like this. Right there, and then just a straight line back. There we go. That gives us another place to tuck a few more trees in. And a bush or two. There we are. Okay. Right. I think that should help out the city a little bit, considering. Not a lot, though. We're going to need 2. Wow, really? Also, water availability is getting a bit rough. Think it might be time for another pump. Let's pop down another pump, then. You can go right about there. And hook that up. There we go. It's a bit better. Sewage, we'll fix that in the next episode, I think. But that's going to be it for me. For now, we have started the expansion of our commercial and office district. It's looking quite nice. We've got a lot of nice things going on, and that is massively helping the development of the residential area back here. We are making a lot of money right now. We're definitely in a good place economically speaking, but that just means that we've got more money to spend on our citizens, and we really should be spending more on the citizens right now. As far as traffic goes, this little road here having a little bit of trouble. Thankfully we have got other streets that they can use to connect up, so it shouldn't get too congested. But down here, yeah, there's a couple of things that we need to solve, but we'll be solving them, hopefully, in the next episode. But that is it from me. So, until next time, and as always, do remember to leave a like if you liked, sub if you haven't, and until next we meet, do take care.